Money, to most people, is nothing more than paper, coins, or numbers in a bank account. They chase it, they fear losing it, they envy those who seem to have an abundance of it, yet they rarely stop to understand the invisible principles that bring it into being and sustain it. The truth is, money is not just material, it is spiritual. It flows in harmony with laws that are unseen yet unbreakable. These laws operate whether you acknowledge them or not. Just as gravity pulls you to the ground regardless of your belief, these laws of money govern your financial destiny, whether you embrace them or ignore them. You may look around and see two men working the same job, putting in the same hours, and yet one thrives while the other struggles. You may see people with equal talents and equal opportunities, and still their outcomes are vastly different. Why is that? It is because money responds not only to physical labor, but also to spiritual alignment. Until you learn to align yourself with the hidden spiritual laws that govern money, you will always live at the mercy of chance. But once you align with them, money begins to come to you as if guided by an unseen hand. It flows in your direction, opportunities open, doors swing wide, and provision seems to find you. The first law is the law of belief. What you truly believe about money shapes the level of money that comes into your life. If you secretly believe money is evil, then your subconscious mind will push it away. If you believe money is scarce, you will live in scarcity. If you believe you are unworthy of wealth, you will sabotage your own opportunities. But when you believe that money is a tool given by the Creator to serve good, when you believe that abundance is your natural inheritance, and when you believe that you are worthy of wealth, then your mind and spirit cooperate with the flow of prosperity. A man who walks with confidence that wealth belongs to him will attract it, while a man who doubts will repel it. The law of belief is relentless. It never stops shaping your financial reality. You cannot rise above the level of your belief. If you want more, you must first believe more. The second law is the law of value. Money is nothing but a shadow of value. It follows value like a shadow follows the body. The amount of money in your life is a direct reflection of the amount of value you bring to others. If you increase your ability to solve problems, if you serve people at a deeper level, if you provide what others are seeking, money will chase you. But if you complain about what you lack while offering little in return, money will avoid you. A farmer does not reap a harvest by staring at empty fields. He reaps only after sowing seeds. In the same way, your income is the harvest of the seeds of value you sow into the lives of others. Money is the applause you receive for the service you render. The more you serve, the more applause you hear, and the louder that applause becomes in the form of financial reward. The third law is the law of gratitude. Nothing unlocks the doors of wealth like a thankful spirit. Many people curse their little and wonder why much never comes. They look at what is missing and blind themselves to what they already have. Yet the man who gives thanks for his small beginnings multiplies them. Gratitude is a magnet. When you appreciate what you already possess, you open the way for more to be added to you. The person who gives thanks for 1 coin will soon have 10. The person who despises 1 coin will soon lose even that. Gratitude shifts your mind from lack to abundance, and whatever you focus on expands. It makes your heart fertile soil where opportunities grow. The more grateful you are, the more generous life becomes to you. The fourth law is the law of imagination. Every fortune begins in the unseen world of thought. What you cannot picture in your mind, you will never hold in your hand. Money first takes shape in the imagination. The house you desire, the business you dream of, the investments you hope to make, these all begin as invisible blueprints in your mental world. Your imagination is a workshop where wealth is manufactured long before it manifests in the physical realm. Those who dare to imagine bigger, to hold vivid pictures of abundance, eventually see those pictures transform into reality. But those who refuse to imagine remain bound by the prison of what already is. The man who can imagine 10 times more than what he currently has is already wealthier than the man who can only see what lies before him. Your imagination is not idle fantasy. It is the womb of creation. Guard it, feed it, and let it expand beyond the limitations of your present circumstances. The fifth law is the law of discipline. Money is a servant, but it will not remain with a master who misuses it. Wealth comes not just through attraction, but through management. Many have received fortunes and lost them because they did not obey the law of discipline. To grow money, you must treat it with respect. Save a portion, invest wisely, resist the temptation to squander it on things that fade. A person who cannot control their spending will always be poor, no matter how much they earn. Discipline turns little into much. Discipline transforms today's seed into tomorrow's forest. Discipline is the bridge between receiving wealth and keeping wealth. You cannot be careless and expect abundance to stay with you. Wealth rewards the one who governs it with wisdom and punishes the one who neglects it with poverty. The sixth law is the law of faith in action. Money is drawn to courage. Opportunities open for those who step out boldly. Fortune favors the one who dares to act, not the one who sits still. Faith without action is empty. It produces no results. You may believe in abundance. You may dream of prosperity. You may visualize wealth. But unless you act, nothing happens. The universe responds to movement. When you take steps, even small ones, you set into motion forces that conspire to assist you. The man who waits until everything is perfect never begins, but the one who begins creates perfection along the way. Money is not found in endless planning, but in decisive doing. Take the risk, launch the idea, make the investment, move forward. Faith in action breaks the chains of fear and makes way for reward. The seventh law is the law of generosity. Paradoxically, the fastest way to receive is to give. Money, like water, must flow. If you dam it up, it stagnates, but if you release it, it returns in greater measure. Generosity activates the spiritual law of circulation. When you give freely, whether through charity, helping others, or investing in causes greater than yourself, you declare that you are not a slave to money, but its master. And money always returns to the one who treats it as a tool rather than a god. Giving creates space for receiving. If your hands are tightly clenched around what you have, they cannot be open to accept more. But when you release what you have in faith, you invite abundance to flow back into your life. Generosity is not losing, it is sowing. Every seed you plant grows into a harvest that comes back multiplied. These 7 laws are hidden not because they are unavailable, but because so few take the time to understand them. Most people chase money blindly, never realizing that they are violating the very principles that would bring it to them. They complain of scarcity while ignoring gratitude. They desire more while refusing to serve. They imagine failure instead of success. They waste what they receive. They fear to act. And they clutch their possessions so tightly that nothing new can enter their lives. And then they wonder why abundance avoids them. But the one who learns these laws, honors them, and aligns with them will never again be at the mercy of chance. Money will become his servant, his tool, his ally, and it will flow to him in harmony with his spirit. Do not deceive yourself into thinking that wealth is purely material. Wealth is spiritual first. It is governed by unseen principles that are as real as the ground beneath your feet. When you embrace belief, when you bring value, when you cultivate gratitude, when you expand imagination, when you practice discipline, when you act in faith, and when you live generously, you open the gates of abundance. These laws are timeless. They work for all who work them. Align with them and money will cease to be a burden and will become a blessing that grows as you grow, and a blessing that you can pass on to others. In the end, your financial destiny is not written by chance or luck. It is written by the laws you obey. Align with the 7 hidden spiritual laws that govern your money, and you will discover that abundance is not a distant dream but a present reality waiting for you to claim it. Money is not only a matter of arithmetic, it is a matter of alignment. You cannot expect to prosper if your mind, your emotions, and your spirit are at war with the very thing you desire. Many people unknowingly repel money with the words they speak, with the feelings they harbor, and with the thoughts they entertain. They say, "I'll never have enough," and their own words become a prophecy. They envy the success of others, and in that envy, they close the door on their own prosperity. They walk in fear, expecting loss at every turn, and so loss meets them like an unwelcome friend who knows their address. If you would rise above lack, you must rise above these inner conflicts. You must begin to speak as though abundance is your portion, to think as though wealth already flows in your direction, and to feel gratitude as though you are already surrounded by the prosperity you seek. The invisible world responds to the energy you give it, and money flows to those who harmonize with it rather than resist it. Consider for a moment the way nature operates. The river does not struggle to flow, it simply finds its course and moves. The seed does not force itself to grow, it surrenders to the soil and unfolds. The sun does not withhold its light, it shines without partiality. In the same way, money does not struggle, force, or resist. It simply flows toward harmony. If you align with the rhythm of giving, of gratitude, of growth, then money will find you. But if you stand in the way with fear, with bitterness, with doubt, then money will pass by as though you were invisible. This is why 2 people can live in the same environment, under the same economy, and yet one thrives while the other suffers. It is not the economy outside that dictates their wealth. It is the economy inside. The inner laws always overpower the outer conditions. When you grasp this truth, your entire outlook on money changes. You stop blaming circumstances and start shaping them. You stop envying others and begin to bless them, knowing that their success is proof of what is possible for you. You stop fearing loss and begin to focus on growth, knowing that what you give multiplies. You stop waiting for luck and begin to act with purpose, knowing that action brings opportunity. Money ceases to be a cruel master and becomes a loyal servant. You no longer chase it desperately, instead you attract it naturally. The very energy of abundance radiates from you, and people, opportunities, and resources are drawn into your orbit. The truth is, wealth is not a matter of possession, it is a matter of perception. A poor man can win the lottery and still return to poverty because his perception is rooted in lack. A rich man can lose everything and rebuild again because his perception is rooted in abundance. The difference lies not in what they hold in their hands, but in what they hold in their minds. The wealthiest man is not the one with the most gold, but the one with the most mastery of these hidden spiritual laws. For once you master them, money is no longer fragile or fleeting. It becomes a constant companion, an obedient servant, and a source of blessing that expands with your own expansion. So as you walk forward, remember this: money is spiritual first and material second. If you wish to change your financial life, you must first change your spiritual alignment. Respect the unseen laws and the seen results will follow. Ignore them, and no amount of striving will bring lasting wealth. The hidden laws of money are not hidden to keep you from them. They are hidden so that only those who seek with sincerity, faith, and discipline may find them. And once you do, you will never again question where prosperity comes from, for you will live in harmony with the very source of abundance itself. Wealth, when understood properly, is not merely a destination but a journey, a constant unfolding of awareness and growth. Many people desire the end result of money but refuse to walk the path of wisdom that brings it. They think in shortcuts, in chance, in sudden windfalls, but true abundance is a process of building, shaping, and aligning with eternal principles. It is not about what you can take quickly, it is about what you can create consistently. Lasting money does not come from schemes, it comes from seeds, and seeds demand time, attention, and faith. If you want wealth that endures, you must be willing to endure the process. Think of how seasons govern the earth. There is a time to sow and a time to reap, a time to water and a time to harvest. You do not plant today and expect a forest tomorrow. You trust the hidden process of growth. In the same way, financial prosperity unfolds in seasons. There are times when you are sowing your skills, investing your energy, preparing the soil of your mind and character. There are times when you water those seeds with faith, with imagination, with gratitude. And then comes the harvest, a time when opportunities burst open, when investments pay off, when unexpected blessings find you. Many abandon the process in the early stages, impatient for results. But those who persist, those who respect the rhythm of the unseen laws, eventually walk into their season of abundance. One of the greatest truths about money is that it magnifies who you already are. If you are fearful, more money will multiply your fears. If you are careless, more money will multiply your losses. But if you are wise, disciplined, and generous, more money will multiply your ability to bless, to expand, and to live in freedom. This is why so many who stumble into sudden riches lose them, because their inner life was not prepared to govern what their outer life received. Wealth without wisdom is a curse, but wealth with wisdom is a blessing that endures for generations. The hidden laws are not just about getting money. They are about becoming the kind of person who can hold money without being destroyed by it. Do not fall into the illusion that wealth is only measured in numbers. True wealth is measured in the peace you carry, in the freedom you enjoy, in the opportunities you create for yourself and others. Money is only one form of wealth. It is a symbol of exchange. But the greater wealth is your mind, your health, your relationships, your spirit. If you focus only on coins and bills, you may gain possessions but lose yourself. If you align with the deeper laws, you will gain not just money, but a life overflowing with meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Every step you take toward mastering these spiritual laws is a step away from fear and into freedom. Each time you choose gratitude over complaint, you expand your capacity for more. Each time you act boldly in faith instead of shrinking in doubt, you unlock a new level of opportunity. Each time you give instead of hoarding, you declare that abundance is your nature, and life responds by confirming it. The hidden laws never fail. They are impartial, like gravity. They reward all who obey, whether rich or poor, young or old, learned or unlearned. If you choose to align yourself today, your tomorrow will be different. If you choose to resist, your tomorrow will repeat the struggles of yesterday. The secret has never been outside of you. It has always been within, waiting for your recognition, waiting for your obedience, waiting for your courage to apply it. Wealth is not far from you. It is as close as the thoughts you choose, the actions you take, the gratitude you express, and the faith you live. Align with these laws and watch as doors open, opportunities multiply, and prosperity flows into your life. Not as a burden, but as a blessing you were always meant to carry. Money, like every other force in life, is always moving. It is never still. It moves from those who misuse it to those who respect it, from those who ignore the laws that govern it to those who apply them faithfully. If you observe the world carefully, you will notice that wealth rarely disappears. It changes hands. It flows from the careless spender to the disciplined saver, from the fearful procrastinator to the bold doer, from the complainer to the grateful giver. This is not coincidence. This is law. If you position yourself correctly, money begins to seek you out, because money is always searching for a good steward. It wants to multiply, to grow, to circulate, and it looks for those who will allow it to fulfill its purpose. So many people speak of money as if it were an enemy, something to fight against, something that causes suffering and corruption. But money is not moral or immoral, it is neutral. It is a mirror. It reflects the heart of the one who holds it. In the hands of the selfish, it amplifies selfishness. In the hands of the wise, it creates opportunities, jobs, and solutions. If you desire more money, you must not simply ask, "How can I get it?" You must ask, "How can I use it when it arrives?" When money knows it will serve a worthy purpose in your hands, it begins to find its way to you more easily. There is also a truth about money that many ignore. It comes in response to clarity. The vague desire for more money is too weak to stir the forces of abundance. You must be specific in your vision. You must see clearly how much you want, why you want it, and what you will do with it once it is yours. A hazy picture produces hazy results, but a sharp, detailed vision pulls opportunities out of the unseen and into the seen. Money obeys direction. If you direct it with precision, it will multiply with precision. If you handle it with confusion, it will leave in confusion. The clearer your intention, the stronger your attraction. And yet, clarity without patience is equally destructive. The universe does not bend to the impatience of man. Wealth grows as steadily as the sun rises. It has its own rhythm, and you must respect it. The man who digs up his seed every day to see if it is growing will never see a harvest, but the man who plants, waters, waits, and continues to cultivate will wake up one day to fields overflowing with fruit. Impatience destroys more dreams than failure ever could. If you would master the laws of money, you must also master the art of waiting, trusting that unseen forces are working even when nothing seems to be happening. The beauty of these hidden spiritual laws is that they work quietly, invisibly, often without immediate evidence. You may practice gratitude today and see no coin added to your hand. You may act in faith this week and notice no immediate reward. You may give generously and feel as though nothing has returned. But if you persist, if you remain steady, the results compound. Little by little, almost imperceptibly, things begin to shift. Opportunities present themselves, people are drawn into your path, ideas surface in your mind, and money begins to flow in ways that once seemed impossible. The laws are always at work, whether you see them or not. What separates those who prosper from those who struggle is not luck but faithfulness. The prosperous man honors these laws daily, even in small ways. He disciplines himself when no one is watching. He cultivates gratitude when there seems little to be thankful for. He gives when it would be easier to keep. He imagines abundance when surrounded by lack. And because he honors the laws in secret, he is rewarded in the open. Others look at him and call him lucky, but luck is nothing more than the visible reward of invisible obedience. If you would change your life, you do not need to beg for miracles or chase after chance. You need only to align yourself with the laws that govern money. They are eternal, unchanging, impartial. They do not bend for one and break for another. They serve all who serve them. And when you commit yourself to living by these principles, wealth will cease to be a distant dream and will become a living reality that grows with you and serves you for the rest of your life. The truth about money is that it was never designed to be chased. It was designed to be attracted. Those who run after it desperately usually find it slipping through their fingers, while those who understand its nature quietly draw it into their lives. Money has ears for faith, eyes for vision, and hands for discipline. It listens to your inner convictions, it sees the images you hold in your imagination, and it responds to the way you handle even the smallest amounts already in your possession. If you treat little with respect, much will trust you. If you despise little, much will avoid you. The way you handle 1 coin is the way you declare to the universe how you will handle 1 million. Too often people pray for more while mishandling what they already have. They waste time, waste resources, and waste opportunities, yet they wonder why larger blessings do not come. The hidden laws cannot be mocked. They return to you not what you wish for, but what you are prepared for. Preparation is proof that you believe. If you desire more money, then organize the money you already have. If you desire greater opportunities, then steward faithfully the ones already in your hand. If you long for financial freedom, then practice self-control even in seasons of scarcity. The laws reward those who demonstrate readiness, and they bypass those who live carelessly. Another truth is that money loves order. Disorder repels it. A cluttered mind, a chaotic lifestyle, an undisciplined routine, all of these are signals that wealth will not be safe in your hands. But a life built on structure, on consistency, on intentional habits, sends out a signal that invites prosperity. Even the smallest act of order, saving a fraction of your earnings, recording your spending, planning your week, places you in alignment with abundance. The man who brings order into his life brings money into his life, because money always gravitates toward structure. There is also the reality that money flows toward purpose. It does not linger long with the one who seeks it only for vanity or indulgence. But when money sees a purpose beyond selfish gain, when it sees a vision to build, to serve, to uplift, it multiplies in astonishing ways. This is why those with a cause often draw resources effortlessly. Their vision creates a vacuum that abundance rushes to fill. If you want to govern large sums of money, tie it to a purpose larger than yourself. The moment you connect money to impact, you will never again struggle to attract it, for it will come looking for you. Finally, understand that money is never the end. It is the means. It is not the master but the servant. If you exalt it as your highest pursuit, it will control you. But if you keep it in its rightful place, as a tool for freedom, service, and creation, it will obey you. The great tragedy is that many lose themselves while gaining wealth, forgetting that true riches are not only counted in numbers but in peace of mind, in meaningful relationships, in the legacy you leave behind. Money without peace is poverty disguised as wealth, but money with peace, with purpose, with alignment to these hidden spiritual laws, is wealth in its highest form. And so, as you reflect on these truths, remember that every step you take toward honoring these laws is a step toward a richer life, not only in material possession, but in spirit, in influence, and in joy. The world is filled with those who seek shortcuts, but there are no shortcuts to lasting wealth. There is only alignment, and the moment you align yourself with the laws that govern money, you step into a current that carries you steadily, inevitably, into abundance. True wealth is not found in luck, nor is it born of chance. It is the natural harvest of obeying the invisible laws that govern money. When you believe that abundance is possible, when you create value for others, when you give thanks for what you have, when you dare to imagine a greater life, when you discipline yourself, when you act boldly in faith, and when you give generously, you align yourself with the flow of prosperity that has always been available. Money ceases to be a struggle and becomes a servant. Opportunities multiply, resources expand, and you begin to live not in fear of lack, but in confidence of supply. These laws are eternal, impartial, and unbreakable. The question is not whether they work, but whether you will work them. Align yourself with these hidden spiritual laws, and you will discover that money is not something you chase. It is something you attract, something that grows with you, something that serves your purpose, and something that blesses not only your life, but the lives of everyone you touch. That is true prosperity, and it is waiting for you to claim it.